Hello, everyone, and thank you again for tuning in to another one of my podcasts, my conversational interviews with the experts out there in the health, wellness, and fitness world. And with me today, I have Kim Basler, and I'm really excited to chat with Kim today. And I know you're going to love what she has to share with you, our dedicated audience and listeners. We've been kind of over the last year, I'll say I've been following Kim and she's kind of been following me. And then we bumped into each other. As you know, I went to the CanFit Pro World Expo back in August and she came up to me. He's like, oh my gosh, yeah. So that was really cool. And I love the message again that, Kim has to share. And I'm really excited to have you here today, Kim. I'll just do a quick intro and I'll let you get more into it. Kim definitely believes about being very transparent and not, we see this false world sometimes in social media and we get caught up in it. And Kim really believes about the powerful message of Me Too, making that vital time for yourself, nurturing your self-esteem, having a positive self-image. Forget about those restrictive, unhealthy diets, forget about the body shaming, stop being obsessive over this exercise that you have to do and yet are finding painful or just doesn't work for you. But Kim, thank you very much for coming here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Yeah, wonderful. Kim, I know the audience and listeners are excited to hear about who is Kim. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do, please?
Absolutely. So bottom line is I'm going to just start by saying that I have, like yourself, I've been working in the health and fitness industry since I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So I've been in it for over 25 years and have always loved every single moment of my time in the industry. However, I have now embarked on a new phase of my life. I've started my own business as an eating psychology and mind-body nutrition coach. And really what that is I'm helping people understand their relationships with food, allowing them to really become back in touch with themselves because we've kind of lost that, in our world. So I came across this certification and I knew it was what I needed. And I'm now able to help clients. I'm able to spread my message to everybody in my community to really help them have a more holistic approach on what health looks like for them.
Oh, excellent. I really like how you said, a holistic approach, and it's not like this crazy world that some people think like healthy has to be this and this, but you're just taking a basic holistic and lining it out for them, simplifying it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know how do you help your clients do that?
Well, really, I help my clients because I've allowed them to see a side of me as well. I think we've put too many rules on ourselves in this world, and we have, created these expectations that are almost impossible.
Yeah.
And, we often compare ourselves to somebody else who may have received success following that particular way of eating, or maybe that particular way of exercising. But, we are all unique in this world, and we all have different backgrounds. We all have, different makeup of what we're made up of. And we all have different, places where we are in today's world. So really what I help my clients do is I help them sort of break down those walls and those barriers and allow them to feel compassion for themselves. I think we spend too much time, blaming ourselves, shaming ourselves over why we can't do it, and, calling ourselves willpower weaklings, like, why can't I do this? What's wrong with me? And really, honestly, I just let people know that what's happening in their life is happening for a reason. And, if we really want to explore it, if we want to make our lives better, it takes time to sort of sit down and peel those layers back and understand maybe why these belief systems have been happening in their life, where they started from, and why have they sort of been there as a bit of a bandage for them to help them through these difficult stages of their life. My training and what I tend to specialize in is really helping people look at emotional eating and stress eating, also struggles with their body image, because I think when we are always feeling that negative self-talk, we talk about this, right? This negative self-talk that goes on and on and on all day long. And it sabotages us for making changes in our future. And it sabotages us for even recognizing what we're accomplishing today, because we're too busy focusing on what somebody else is doing and comparing ourselves to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I open up space for them, really is what I do. I open up space and I listen and I guide and I nudge and I encourage. But most importantly, I don't give up on people. So as long as people are coming to me and they're wanting the support, then I really open them up to a whole new world. There's no dieting. No dieting. No dieting.
Yes, that word just,
I know. And it's funny because I've had some conversation. People are still using the word diet as a way of eating.
Yeah.
This is my diet. I respect that word from a standpoint of this is my diet, this is my way of eating.
Yeah.
But we see diet as restriction. We see diet as, taking out certain macronutrients out of their diet. We see diet as restriction, and then therefore it really causes people to have those yo-yos, right?
Yep.
And the up and down, and the challenges that people are having. And so it's really about mindfulness. If I can take a second with nutrition, really what I like to do is I like to speak with people about how they're eating. So I can get an idea of, is there enough carbohydrates? Are they getting enough of the good, healthy carbohydrates versus the poor ones, in balance, and enough protein, enough essential fats, just looking at that macronutrient balance. Because you know what? We don't need to carry a weigh scale around and measure every single gram of food that we eat. Can you imagine? Like, that's a whole job in itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just ask people to slow down with their food, let their body understand what it needs. Am I still hungry?
Yes.
No, I've had enough food.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm hungry for something else.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm hungry for some emotion and some love and some companionship. Maybe a little bit more slow down in my life I'm hungry for. There's so many parts of the mind, body, nutrition. I want people to find pleasure with food again. So that it doesn't become this thing that we have to fear and, live, we're coming into Halloween. People are worried about the chocolate, honestly, like.
Have a piece.
Pardon?
I said, have a piece and enjoy it. And like when like you said, Kim, slow down. So actually just don't put in your mouth and like chomp and take a bite and like, let it melt in your mouth and savor the flavors and how sweet it really is. And you'll be satisfied and you'll, internally and emotionally, it's like, yeah, I'm happy, I'm satisfied, right? And because when you look at a negative way, then you end up having one and feeling guilty. And like you said, the whole psychology is just, okay, now you're setting yourself up for self-ridicule and self-neglect and all that deep stuff, right? And and Kim, I love how you said, pulling back the layers and not, you're neglecting yourself, and realize the amazing person you are and look at the positive aspects and really be mindful, like slow down your eating and taste the flavors and chew your food and enjoy the experience, right? Enjoy it.
And I'm also the first one to admit that our life now, the way life is happening, we have shifted from that. And so there's a very strong relationship between somebody who is living a fast-paced, busy life, jam-packed, every single minute of the day is scheduled. That's what tends to happen with their food. There is no time for slow, conscious eating. It's, I'm going to eat over the steering wheel while I drive to my next appointment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you're so true because, kind of when you said it's that stress because, if we're eating dinner kind of from personal point of view, if we're eating dinner and then my son and husband are like, I'll look at them, I'll say, whoa. I said, did you even breathe? Like, does your stomach not hurt? Did you even enjoy that meal just now? And they kind of stop because that's how I know you're stressed right now, by just watching you eat, right? So like you said, eating that steering wheel, over that steering wheel is like, hello.
And I think people think of stress as this massive, event or extreme experience in their life, but stress can be just that constant, chronic go, go, go. And when we are in that state, our body is not digesting our food properly. So many struggles with digestion can be, managed, cured, if you will, if we just were to slow down and let our body prepare for the food that we're about to eat.
Exactly. I mean, the stomach has to work so hard when you have these
Yes.
chunks of food not properly chewed up, right?
Yeah.
So Kim, I'd love to know, what allows you to thrive and live with the passion of what you do?
I will just touch by saying that I've had the last few years of my life, I've had a lot of stuff going on. I left my full-time career, and I loved my full-time career. The problem was my struggles with body image, my struggles with dieting that started when I was 12 years old.
Mhm.
They really took off into a place of perfectionism, not feeling like I was working hard enough, always being available. And
Mhm.
when I had to leave that job, and I had nothing to turn to, and it was the hardest time in my life, but I was able to work on myself and recognize that we are able to make change in our life.
Mhm.
And so what inspires me to keep going and to keep, being in this health and fitness industry, this wellness industry, is to see the changes that happen in the people that I work with,
Yeah.
but even just the people that are in my life that
Yeah.
care to share with me the experiences, how I'm impacting their life by the messaging that I'm sending out. That lets me know that I'm on the right track. I'm probably at my happiest personally than I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
Um, and so then when I come from a place of love and appreciation for myself, and not from a place of push and a place of drive,
Mhm.
the energy that I have that I can give to people is
Yeah.
is just enormous. And really,
Exactly.
it it lets me know that I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
And you and I both know that we have a lot of work to do in this industry, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of work to do. Everybody's wanting the quick fixes. Everybody's wanting to lose the weight
Mhm.
yesterday.
Mhm.
And what I really want people to do is just feel good. I want people to feel good so that behavior change comes from a place of love, not from a place of hate.
Yeah.
So if I keep working from that direction, then I'm thriving. And then, and I want to say too that I definitely make time for self-care.
Mm.
I never did that before.
Yeah. Nice.
My exercise was my self-care,
Ah,
but I didn't take the time to slow down.
right.
So when I slow down in my life, I make time for my meditation. I make time for time with my family,
Mhm.
being still, sitting with a nice book. These are
Mhm.
the types of things that fill my cup back up so that I'm able to keep doing what I love to do.
Exactly. I love that. The fact that you're tuning into your body, you're slowing down, right? And those are moments people have forgotten, but if they go back to doing it, I mean, you hear in people's conversations, right? I actually took a moment to sit down and just, read a book. I haven't, and it felt so good. Okay, it felt good. Now make it a part of your lifestyle, but people have forgotten how to do it, right? And when you mentioned, Kim, that, working with clients, you have your one-on-one virtual clients that you work with. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we have this wonderful technology that we're on right now, I'm able to work with people all over the world, really. And the importance of the coaching, from a video standpoint,
Mm,
is I'm able to see the people that I'm working with,
yeah.
and they can do it from the comfort of their home.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to work with anybody around the world. I'm not going to get up at 2 in the morning to do my coaching, but we work
Because that's
together.
important,
And
right?
pardon?
That's important to self-care.
So true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got my coaching is beautiful. What I tend to do is I offer everybody an opportunity to chat with me one-on-one about any
Mm,
concerns that they have. That
yeah.
initial call is always free, and
Yeah.
then I talk with them about whether I'm able to support them, whether we're a good fit for each other, and
Mhm.
then we get a good idea of what type of coaching. I think people need to understand that I'm not trying to fix someone, but
Yeah.
for us, in order to understand and to make change in our life, it does take commitment.
Yeah.
So people have to be willing to try a different approach. They have to be willing to let me guide them in a direction that I feel will benefit them.
Mhm.
And then there's a big trust factor. I prescribe homework. I don't use the word prescribe, but I suggest homework after every session.
Yeah.
And you and I both know that we have our coaching time with our clients, but all the other hours that are in their day are up to them. So
Exactly.
it's a constant checking in with self to make sure that, you know, we're doing something on a daily basis that's intentional, that will move our health in the right direction.
Yeah, wonderful.
The other thing that I have too is a social media group. It's called the Body, Love, and Acceptance Journey, and it's for women, and it's a closed group. So if anybody's interested in searching that group up online, I would be pleased to support people there. Just, you know, it's a really community of beautiful women that are there to empower themselves.
Yeah. And everyone, I will be sharing Kim's, the way you can reach her, at the bottom of this video. So, you know, you don't have to worry about trying to write that down. I will share all her links at the bottom of this video. And, you know, I love how you pointed out, Kim, how, you know, it's that first initial chat first to see how we, you know, communicate together, if we'll be comfortable with each other, because that's so important, right? I mean, there's so many coaches out there that's like, no, you got to sign up right away. But I love that same philosophy that we believe in. It's like, no, we're going to have a virtual chat first to see if we even have a connection, because if there's no connection, then we're not able to support and help each other, right? And how is that, as you as a coach, I mean, how is that going to make you feeling? Because you are there to support your clients, right? You're there to have them go towards success. And I love that you're taking that first initial step to see, you know, let's make sure we understand and communicate first before we can.
And I'm the right person for them.
I love that. You know, I love that you believe in that same philosophy. That is great. Now, as we're slowly coming to a close, there are 3 questions that I ask everybody in my conversational interviews, because it kind of gets to know who is Kim, right? Kim not as the coach, but Kim as the actual person. I think that's really important that, you know, our listeners and our viewers today find out a little end of you. So, what is a quote that you live by, Kim?
That's a tough one for me, because there's a lot of different people that have inspired me. I love a lot of Maya Angelou's work and her quotes. I would say, and I might not be quoting it exactly, but it's just the understanding that to make change in our life can be scary, it can be difficult, but not more difficult than when you're living in a place that isn't nurturing you as a woman.
Nice.
So, you know, it's about being brave and allowing ourselves to step forward and move through these challenges, and recognize that we can become resilient, we can move through challenges, and open up our opportunity for new things.
Yeah, I love that, you know, not allowing those fears inside you, not letting the fears around you, not allowing the excuses to stop you from, you know, achieving that dream or that goal that you see ahead of you. So yeah, that's a really, really nice quote. Wonderful. Now, our listeners want to know, okay, Kim, what's like the number 1 advice you can share with us right now, right here? Everyone, you know, advice is important. So yeah, one piece of advice.
Okay. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, because, you know, we have to slow down and we have to listen to what's going on in there. It'll whisper at you, but you have to be slowing down enough to be able to hear those messages. And if they keep resurfacing, they mean something. So just take time and be willing to make change.
Yeah, that's great, because we as women, we have this amazing intuition, but it's like you said, it's whether we listen to it or not, whether we shut it down or, okay, this intuition is here for a reason. I need to be open to listening to it. So that's a really, really great piece of advice. And you're not allowed to say family for this one, okay? If this was the last day of your life, what's the one thing that you are grateful for?
I am grateful that I put myself first. I'm grateful that I took a risk 2 years ago and left my job with nothing to go to, but I trusted that everything was going to be just fine. And I'm grateful for the resilience that I've learned about myself, and I wouldn't have changed anything about that, because those experiences have made me for who I am today. So
lovely, lovely. Thank you very much, Kim, for your time today. And, you know, the messages that you shared are really, really powerful. And I really feel that, you know, women need to hear this conversational interview more than once, because you really have, you know, the words that you use really resonate, I feel, with so many women out there, and they're afraid to hear them. You know, so the fact that you said unpeel those layers and listen to yourself and be positive and, forget about the neglect and have the self-love and make time for yourself and just slow down in this crazy, fast-paced world.
So true.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit? I know that you do some mindful motivational talks too, and
Yeah.
I would love to hear about them so that my audience is able to hear about what you have to offer as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so the mindful motivational talks where I go into businesses as well as individual groups, or even schools will have evenings where parents come to. So, talking about tuning into your body, getting back to the basics, making time just for yourself, because we give so much time to everybody else, but tuning into yourself, making time for yourself, getting back to the basics, slowing down, and, being in knowing what is stressing me, taking the time to say no to another, okay, I'll do it. But yet at the same time, you're thinking, how am I going to do this? I can't imagine trying to do another work project, or I can't imagine trying to help out another one, or driving everybody around. So not being afraid to say no, that my plate is full, and, not being afraid to give it away and give it to somebody else, and just having that gratitude every day. I know sometimes people think it's a really overused word, but when we have gratitude, when we're thankful every day, when we wake up and when we go to bed in the evening, and send out, like, what's the best thing about that, like, the way of dealing stress is becoming so much easier, because you don't lose your patience right away, and you recognize, I'm stressed, I'm going to stop. And, teaching people, like, just recognize that when you're like this, stop what you're doing and take the deep breaths. So, in a nutshell, that's what the motivational talks are about, and having people recognize, like, yeah, I'm feeling this way, and yeah, I guess I can do this way. And, giving them, when they're, after they're done listening to my motivational talks, I'm giving them 3 tips they can walk away with and start using right there the moment they walk out. And it's very simple things like, tuning into and, saying no to this. But yeah, it's it's fun. And because you can see people sometimes coming like this, and by the time I'm done, they're like this, and the shift in energy is amazing to see. But I appreciate you asking me about that and allowing me to share that with everybody out there as well, with your audience. Yeah. So my listeners and audience, thank you very much again to tuning into one of my other conversational interviews today with Kim. And as you are watching this on YouTube, on the right-hand side, subscribe to never miss any one of these conversational interviews, as well as my other video blogs I post. Wishing you a wonderful day, sending you gratitude, and remember, as always, when you go to bed this evening, think about the best thing that happened today, and when you wake up to tomorrow, think about 5 things, 10 things that you are grateful for. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everyone.